Good morning. It's Tuesday and it is day 11 of our 21 days of prayer for our business study that we are doing together. You guys, we are doing this. We are getting through this together. We are coming to the Lord with our prayers and petitions for our business, and we are seeking Him and the knowledge that He will give us to guide us in His ways for our businesses. So welcome, good morning. I'm so glad that you are tuning in today, whether it is 8 a.m. this morning, well, at least 8 a.m. my time, Eastern Standard, or good morning, Paula. Good morning, Cora. Good morning, Carol. Or if you are watching the replay. Yesterday, guys, I got several messages. It just kills me, or not kills me, it warms my heart and really just gives me that encouragement. I don't know why I said that before. But good morning, Mary. It warms my heart to know that you guys are putting so much time and effort into this. And several of you yesterday were saying that you had fallen behind, and I don't know if there was maybe a little bit of guilt that was going on there, or what you guys were feeling, but I want you to know that it's all good. Everything that we are doing through this study it's good for our souls. It's good for our strength and relationship with the Lord. So just know that. Chris, you're excited to start the day? Yes, it's Tuesday. It is December 11th, and oh my gosh, Christmas. Guys, Christmas is 2 weeks from today. Do you realize that? Oh my gosh. I yesterday, remember I said the other day that I'm actually pretty ahead of my Christmas shopping this year. I'm pretty proud of myself, a little pat on the back. But usually I'm, one of those last minute shoppers, and I have my 3 children plus my daughter's fiance this year, and to buy for, and I went and I kind of took stock of everything I had so that I could figure out, okay, do I need anything else? Is there something I'm missing? Does somebody going to feel like they don't have as much, like I gave more to one over the other? Oh my gosh. That is not what this season is about at all whatsoever. But I thank the Lord Jesus that we do have this season to show others love, through giving of ourselves and giving to others that makes other people happy. I've always loved to give to other people. And Leslie says that your book arrived. Ooh, yay, your book arrived. That's awesome. Cora says, iron sharpens iron. Thank you for this time. Yes. Oh my gosh, my husband, sorry, little squirrel moment here. He did an Ironman's retreat with our church a few years back, and that is their theme, the iron sharpens iron. Yes, and we sharpen each other, right, through sharing, through supporting, through conversations, through mentorship, through guidance. Just God can speak through us and sharpen others. Isn't that amazing how He can do that? So anyways, back I was talking about Christmas, and I'm just very happy that it is only December 11th. I can say that it is not December 24th, and I'm not still out there shopping. So today we are going to talk creative problem solving, and that is, I have to say, one thing that I have always enjoyed is the process of problem solving. From a very young age, I can remember that I've always tried to think outside the box. I've always tried to come up with alternative ways, creative ways, different ways to do things, to accomplish a job, to get it done, to work smarter, not harder. Versus maybe the typical standard way. So my dogs are down here this morning. If you guys hear growling in the background, it is because they are playing, and I do apologize for that. Hey guys, go upstairs. Go upstairs and play. see if they'll listen to me. Creative problem solving, right? We gotta be creative with this. So anyways, I've loved the process of solving problems. To me, it's a challenge that I like to tackle. I know some people may get kind of shut down or like, oh, there's a problem. Oh no, what am I going to do? And that's okay. But what we need to do is to be able to learn how to work through it. So Monique is going to talk with us today about creative problem solving. So in the beginning of her chapter today, she says, let's take inventory of all that we've learned so far. And I love how she goes through this list. So I'm going to go through this with you guys. I'm sorry. My dogs must have a lot of energy this morning. We're going to, Sadie Mae, go upstairs, please. Go upstairs. Go on, upstairs. Sorry, the fur babies are acting up. Good morning, Darlene. Real quick before we get into this, I got to catch up on my little comments here. Ruth said, oh my, some things are happening in my business that's been so long overdue. I'm thrilled and scared. Hey, girlfriend, that is like the most awesome place to be. It is good. It's probably a really good scared, I'm sure. These lessons are such reminders that unless this business is built on the rock, and we're not talking about Dwayne Johnson, we're talking about God, right? It's going to be a struggle. Thanks for being transparent and showing love with this group. Oh, it is so much my pleasure to be doing this with you guys. It is such a blessing to me. So please don't thank me, thank God for putting the little, words in my brain that I needed to share this with you guys. Let's see. Janet, good morning, Janet. Good morning, Darlene. All right, so let's take inventory of where we've come so far. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're now more than halfway through this. We are doing this, and we are going to see this to the very end, right? Okay, so you have given your business over to God. You are finding freedom from the past. You have figured out your gifts and talents. You have caught a vision. You have decided to be intentional. You are growing. You are not going to give up. That's part of the process of creative problem solving as well. And you are living a life of worship. You are embracing excellence, but you are kicking perfection to the curb. Yesterday was a really good day, wasn't it? That is a lot. Yay, you! You may be thinking you haven't fully accomplished day so-and-so yet. Well, hang in there. We are all a work in progress. Just sit back and enjoy the journey. Isn't she so encouraging? I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch her video yesterday, her live video that Mary shared in the group. If you haven't, go back and watch it. It's real short. It doesn't take that long to watch her little live video. But man, she's got some stuff going on, and she, it's not that she has reached the end of her journey. She is continuing her journey, and we have to realize this is a journey from day one to the very end when we are finally called home. We are never finished with this journey, and we have to embrace that we are constantly learning and growing, and as long as we're taking the Lord along for the ride with us, we will see awesome things, right? Okay, so she talks about the fact that obstacles that we can go through offer opportunities. They provide opportunities for us. So think about, we talked earlier a few days back about the faith. The size of a mustard seed can move mountains. Well, sometimes the mountains don't necessarily move. They don't get out of our way. The waters don't part, but we still need to get through that obstacle, right? So we have to do a little creative thinking. Figure out how to get around the mountain or over the mountain or through the waters, right? So to me, it's kind of like you have those aha moments, or you have a breakthrough, what we call a breakthrough with the difficulty that we're facing. Maybe it could be something a stronghold that has you, and then finally the chains are broken and you're able to move forward freely, right? So she talks about her business in here. You know, Monique McLean is with Young Living Oils. She started that business in 2013. It was something she never ever thought that she would do. Which if your business that you're in, maybe it's something you never thought that you would do. You know, there might be a time in your life where, you know, maybe whatever it is that you're doing, maybe you liked the company or the products or something, but you never thought, oh, I could never do what that person does, the person that was selling the products, right? Well, anyways, she tells her story in here, and I'm going to kind of read through this because I think it's important that we get to know Monique McLean, the author of this book, to see and understand where she came from in order to be able to write this book and share all of this with us, because it shows her heart, okay? It said, problems are what propelled me into the business I'm in today. You see, in January 2013, the company I am now working for had a promotion for free products if you ordered a certain amount that month. Insert problem. I quit my nursing job a few months before, and we had zero extra money. My husband is such a genius, he came up with a creative solution. He suggested I ask my friends if they wanted to add to my order. We wouldn't be out any money, and I would get the free product. Sounded pretty simple to me. I agreed and quickly stated that I would never, ever do the business side of this company. I just wanted the products. How many of you said that? I just wanted the products. We see how that worked out. Long story short, post made, orders received, friends loved the product as much as I did, and they wanted more. Imagine that. Wow, okay, so maybe I do the business. Insert problem number 2. I had a business fail 4 years previously, and my priorities were way out of line in the midst of it. I did not want to walk that path again. Solution? Commit to 21 days of prayer and fasting for this new business idea. Pray for a strong foundation. Pray for vision and direction, and give over control to God. As you can see, creative problem solving was working out for me before I ever even started this new business venture. Okay, so where there's a will, there's a way, right? And I think that the most important part of that is God's will, not our will. I'm sure you've heard that phrase, where there's a will, there's a way. What we have to realize is we can't do it all ourselves. We have to seek God's will for us, and then He will show us the way. He will provide that way for us. So she continues on. The problems didn't stop after the 21 days of prayer were over. You mean she didn't have immediate success once she finished 21 days? You mean all of our businesses aren't going to be as successful as we want them to be at the end of these 21 days? Sorry, guys. This is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. Nope, they kept rolling in. Remember that surprise wedding we had to go to after our car broke down? That was a few chapters back. Well, we were getting ready to head out of town. Another problem arose. I had 10 members waiting to join me in this business venture. All right, I'm sorry, but I had to stop right there, because I'm like, you had 10 people wanting to join your team all at the same time? Oh my gosh, I wish I had that problem, right? Okay, well, let's continue on. And they had loads of questions. I was still very new and had no clue how to manage it. Jeremiah, her husband, and I put our thinking caps on, and within 5 minutes we had a solution. We decided to create a Facebook group. A Facebook group, like this one. You know, Facebook has its moments. I'm sure we've all been frustrated with Facebook, and there's a lot of negativity that can float around Facebook. But Facebook can really be used for good things too, guys. We put all 10 members in the group with when one person asked a question, we could answer it, and the 9 other people would see it too. That group ended up turning into a massive community and was a huge part of our success. Each time an obstacle came in front of us, it provided an opportunity every single time. So I wrote on the side over here, I said, we can choose to look at obstacles or problems as opportunities to get creative and grow. So when the next time you face an obstacle or a problem, try to look at it as an opportunity. Say, okay, all right, got something going on here. We need to figure this out. So what ways can we grow and learn from this? So how can we fix something? How can we make it better? How can this be done easier? Work smarter, not harder, right? If you want to find success in your business, then see problems and obstacles as opportunities. So then she asks us if we can think of a time when we turned problems into opportunities and share it below. So what I shared was I was asked to be in it was an exclusive training group opportunity for us through our company. You had to be invited to do this training, and by the grace of God, I was asked to be a part of it. And there were requirements, monthly requirements that we had in order to remain in this training. Otherwise, if you didn't meet them, you got the boot, you got kicked out. And we had to have so many, hold and submit so many parties each month, and have so many new team members added each month, personal parties and personal team members added. And the requirements were a lot more than I had ever done in my business. And, but to me, I looked at it as, hey, game on, challenge accepted. I am all over this. And so I went to work the first month. I reached out to anybody I could think of that would be willing and able to have a party for me, whether it was a virtual Facebook party or an in-home party. That's just my line of business, direct sales. We do the parties. And we had to have a minimum of 8 for the month. And then we had to have a minimum of 2 recruits, 2 new team members for the month. And I ended up booking 16 parties, double. I don't think I'd ever done 8. I think the most I'd done in a month was maybe 7. I did 16, and I ended up with 3 recruits, not just 2, but 3. Because in my brain, I didn't want to work to the minimums. I wanted to be an overachiever. And maybe that's just a little how my brain is wired. But yeah, that was one time I can think of where, there was a problem, there was an obstacle, there was something that I needed to get creative about, to think about doing it and getting through it, right? So, and part of this too, guys, is not everything that we do is going to work the first time. Sometimes it takes different approaches, multiple approaches, different ways to figure out how to solve the problem. And what I've learned through processes is that even though maybe the first thing you tried didn't work, you probably learned something from it. Okay, well, we learned that didn't work, right? Or we learned, well, maybe this part of it works, but not all of it works. So let's figure out the rest of it and take the next step forward, okay? Failure isn't a failure if you learn something from it. I share with a lot of people that are considering my business, my company, considering joining my team, that the only way to fail is to never try. That's the only way to fail. If you at least try it, if you do it, and down the road things don't work out, at least you learn from it, right? So failure, the only way to fail is to not try. Successful people get back up. Successful people try again. Successful people don't sit in a corner and cry. Sit in a corner and suck my thumb, right? No, we're not going to do that. We're also not going to drop below the line and stay there. We're going to stay above the line, right? Successful people don't constantly complain that the things are too hard. Successful people find a problem as a challenge and they tackle it with all their might. So, you know, when things aren't going how you want them to go in your business, are you going to sit there and just complain about it and whine and cry and, you know, put it off on the people that are above you or the people that are below you and say, well, it's their fault that this is happening? Or are you going to say, okay, this is happening. What am I going to do about it? How can we fix this? Are you going to be part of the problem or part of the solution? We talked about that. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm telling you what, foundation. This is the foundation that we need for our businesses to be able to move forward and have success with them through God. So next, we're going to talk about relying on God, and we're going to wind things up for today. So she goes on to say, are you freaking out right now and thinking that this is way too hard? Do you believe that there is no way you can do this? And then she says, good. That makes my heart happy. Why? Now you must rely on God and not you. You must rely on God and not you. We don't want to be spinning our wheels. When you are weak, then you are strong in Him. He can do immeasurably more than you can ask or imagine. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. I am 100% confident that if you ask God to help you come up with creative ideas to problems you are facing, He will give you those ideas. Maybe the idea stems from something you try that doesn't work. Remember, God's ways and thoughts are not always like our ways and thoughts. Don't limit Him. Before we close out in prayer, think about some current situations you are up against in your business. Do you have some obstacles you are facing? List them out below and then go to the Lord in prayer over them. So I'm going to share with you guys what I'm facing right now, this month in December 2018. And it's not a bad problem to have by any means. I have had a fairly successful year with my business. Could there have been areas that could have been better? Absolutely. Could there have been more that I could have done with my business? Opportunities for growth in it? Absolutely. But overall, I feel like I've had a fairly successful year. So as I'm approaching the end of the year, I'm also approaching the end of an incentive that our company has offered. And that incentive is to earn a vacation for 2 people. The first level is for this year is Scottsdale, Arizona, and the second level is Hawaii. And I know if you're with Pampered Chef, you're very familiar with this, but if you're not, just to let you guys know, that's what it is. And this past year, 2017, was the first year that I earned an incentive trip. And I was able to take my husband on a vacation on Pampered Chef's dime to Amelia Island back in April. And it also happened to be right around the time of our wedding anniversary and just after my birthday as well, too. So it was wonderful. It was a wonderful, wonderful trip. So I want to be able to do that again. I want to be able to take my husband on a vacation and treat him for all of the support that he gives me throughout the year, and also to celebrate my own success, right? So we have to have a certain amount of points to be able to earn this trip. And the points can come through sales, and they can also come through team building as well. Currently, I am just over 3,000 points away from earning Scottsdale, Arizona, the first level. And I have till the end of the month to earn it. So that means I need either over 3,000 in personal sales, which I am working hard at. Every day I'm reaching out and contacting customers, asking people if they need things for Christmas, seeing if anybody wants to throw together a quick party. I'll bring the food, you bring the friends, and we'll have fun. So, I'm trying to think outside of the box, trying to think of creative ways to be able to come up with the sales that I need to do this. It also could come in the form of a new team member they would have to qualify by the end of the year. And then by me helping them qualify, I earn trip points. So that's where I'm at. And I want to be able to take my husband on that vacation. So that is what I am facing right now, and I am asking the Lord through these 21 days to show me ways that I can reach out to others to see what their needs are so that I can help meet their needs through my business and in turn meet my needs and wants and desires. It's not really necessarily a need to go on a vacation, but anyways, so that is what I'm facing right now. And it's requiring a lot of creativity to accomplish it. So I look forward to December 31st and seeing what's going to happen with it. So if you have something, I want you guys, if you are comfortable with this is part of our homework, is to write out something difficult that we're going through and then go to the Lord in prayer over them. If you are going through something right now in your business, an obstacle that you need some creative problem solving with, and if you feel so comfortable to do so, I would ask that you post it in this group. Post something that you are having a difficult problem with, an obstacle you are facing. Post it in this group so that we can pray for you. And I'm also going to say this: when somebody posts something, we are not going to offer unsolicited advice. Okay? So we're not going to tell people what to do. We are simply going to pray for them. We are going to pray that God shows them direction and gives them discernment. Okay? So I'm not, like what I'm facing right now, I am not asking any of you to give me any solutions to my problem. I'm not asking any of you to say, oh, do this, do that. You'll get sales with this. I don't want that. I want to hear from God what to do, okay? And it's not that I don't love you and that I don't appreciate your advice and that I know that you're more than likely doing it with a completely loving heart. But I don't want in this group words to come from us. I want words to come from God. So if you are so willing to post what you are facing right now in your business, a difficulty, an obstacle that you need some creative thinking, creative inspiration from God, post it in this group and we will pray for you. So that's what I'm asking you guys to do. If you see a post, pray for that person. Okay? Does that make sense? Does that sound good? We've all grown close in this group now, 11 days together, right? So Monique goes on to say, you've got this. Actually, God's got this. There's been so many times where I've gone to God in prayer or in heartache, and I've cried out to him, and I've heard him say to me, I've got this. He never says, you've got this, you've got this. No, God says, I've got this. And I think we need to remember that, guys. So we are going to pray, brainstorm, and execute an idea. If it doesn't work, repeat the steps above and start again, right? Good. I knew you would be all over this creative problem solving and ready to go after it. So now we're going to close in prayer, and then I will read our walk it out action steps for today. Jesus, you are the ultimate creative problem solver. There are things we are facing that we just can't figure out on our own. We feel like we keep hitting our head against a brick wall. We feel like we are running in circles. We are trying to come up with solutions to problems we are facing, and we just aren't getting them. Lord, show us how to conquer the issues we are facing in our businesses. We need divine wisdom from you. We need discernment from you. Give us wisdom way beyond our years. Lord, give us the confidence to try the things you prompt us to do. Give us creative ideas. Lord, we will always give you credit and point things back to you. We can do more than we ask or think. I'm sorry, it says you can do more than we ask or think. We don't want to do this on our own. We need your help. Show us the times we fall into the trap of complaining and grumbling. You care about each aspect of our lives. I know you care about the issues we face. Thank you for all the ideas you are going to pour out on my friends. Draw near to them as they draw near to you. We love you and thank you for all you do for us. Amen. I forgot to share the memory verses for today. And she doesn't have all of them listed in the book. She only has 2, and she actually has 5 in the flip chart book. So I'm going to share these with you, and they will also be posted at 9 a.m. So that you guys can have them. So the first one is 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 10. Therefore, I am well content with weaknesses, with insults, with distress, with persecutions, with difficulties. For Christ's sake, for when I am weak, then I am strong. So it's basically telling us to find joy in these things, find joy in the difficult times, because Christ is going to strengthen us through them, right? When iron sharpens iron, as Cora said earlier. The second verse is Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20. Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we seek or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. God can do more than you could ever imagine because he is at work within us. The next one is Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. You probably have heard this one before. For I can do everything through Christ who strengthens me. Or another version says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Or through Christ who gives me strength. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. A couple different versions of that one. That one's a pretty easy one to memorize as well. The next one is James chapter 1, verse 5. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. And then the last one today is Proverbs chapter 2, verse 6. For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. Good verses today. So I will have those posted for you at 9 o'clock. And let's finalize today with our Walk It Out action steps. And I'll have those posted here in a few minutes as well. Number 1, when you catch yourself complaining about a problem, stop and think of a solution instead. Ask the Lord to help you have wisdom and discernment on how to handle the situation. So when you feel those problems or obstacles come up, stop. Take a minute, take it to the Lord, and ask for his direction and discernment. Number 2, ask tons of questions. Find out what the needs are in your business. What are the issues, struggles, and problems? And then work with others to find a solution. Go to those that you trust. Number 3, find a quiet place to sit and think. Think every single day. It can be hard. But if we start doing it, it can become a habit, right? Like this, going to the Lord in prayer. And finally, number 4, memorize and meditate on the verses that I just shared with you. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 10, Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20, Philippians chapter 4, verse 13, James chapter 1, verse 5, and Proverbs chapter 2, verse 6. You guys, God is good. He is good all the time, right? I thank the Lord every day that he gave us minds that are able to think creatively. If we all did things the same way, this would be a pretty boring world, right? So let your creativity flow today. That is my prayer. If you have an obstacle or problem that you're facing, I just pray that God gives you that direction, tells you, shows you and tells you where he wants you to go, and lets those creative juices flow so that you can solve that problem. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope that everyone has a wonderful and blessed Tuesday, and I will see everybody back here tomorrow morning. Thanks so much. Love you.